Welcome home, Raiders. Tonight, the Mythic race, or the Mythic race to World First, is over as Convert to Raid presents the Battlenet News. The Battlenet News broadcast bunker somewhere deep in the heart of Minneapolis, Minnesota. Today is, what day is it today? July 18th, 2017, and it's now 10:12 in the PM, Central Time. Thanks so much for joining us from all around the Blizzard universe, and hello, my name is Pat Crane. I'm the host of this ding-dang show, and the players are here as well. From Well Met and the Payoad podcasts over on, what is it? BlizzPro.com. It's John Horseman. Hey, John.
Did you drive the struggle bus to the podcast today, Pat? Because that was...
Yeah, there was
a little out of form there for...
It's okay.
The broadcast master. But hey... Great to be here. Thanks for having me. I've missed you, and
I've missed
I love
you, buddy. And I
love you.
And I love you too. Love you too. It's a show of love. And also from Tauren Think Tank and Slaying Demons and other fine shows, and from around here at the office as well. It's Jules Scott. Hey, Jules.
Hi, guys. Hi. I'm very happy to be back.
Welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, buddy. Thank you. You know what? I mean, you guys are already aware that Pat and I work together and we see each other all the time. So this is an opportunity for me to have the, the really cool chance to not be like beat up every single day. You know, like this is this is what my work environment is, guys.
This
right
is
here.
her revenge. Yeah, that's
every day.
That's it.
I'm hoping.
Is that me?
That's it. No.
What was that?
That was
oh
Jules.
My God. I'm like scared. I'm like,
everybody has
I like almost died.
The stupid thing about this show tonight is that everybody has a soundboard. And so they all want to play it. And all I
do?
Play this for you.
I'm just kidding. I'm not playing it. I'm not doing it.
I'm just playing this one. That's it. That's all I'm doing.
Yep.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Or this one. How much have you drank?
That's really low. That's really low. I couldn't hear that one.
Drinking and swearing, and swearing. Pat, those are little sounders from drinking and swearing.
Oh yeah, drinking and swearing. Those were the days.
You don't have any of me in there, do you?
Probably.
Because
but not tonight.
I think we have to put on the explicit tag for the show if we start playing those.
It might be. It might be.
I know. Now that I've taken the show completely off the rails.
Well, welcome, Franz and friends, to the show.
And Franz.
That's right. And thank you, the chat room and everybody around the world, of Warcraft and beyond. Welcome to the show. And before we get going, as per usual, I need to catch up with the folks here on the panel. And first, I'll start with Jules. Jules, I know that you are not playing WoW lately.
Yeah, okay, so you got me.
Of course I got you. You were part of the Ermagerd, offensive, and now you're Ermagerd. You're not really.
Ermagerd.
Right now. But what have you been up to in your gaming worlds?
I still have my account, seriously, my account. Just not playing a whole lot right now. Really, right now, I'm super focused on Overwatch and Heroes of the Storm eSports. That's like the things that I really love. And so I watch a lot of eSports, like a lot. And I don't get a chance to play a lot of like Heroes, but I play a lot of Overwatch. Like I'll just pop in and do a couple games, but this is like crazy busy season for us. Like we've got a whole lot of stuff going on with the CTR party and other things for Podcast Launchpad that are coming up. And so it's like I do eSports while I'm doing other stuff, and it works out pretty well for me. So right now, yes, I'm not playing a lot of WoW at all.
And I touched base on this last week just so that the guys can kind of catch up, those guys that may have missed last show or whatever. But I do want to say that the CTR party was an absolute success. The Kickstarter was a great success. We raised over $16,000 for the party, which is amazing. And so the party's going to be going on. Not only that, we've reached 2 different stretch goals, and that means that everybody's going to be getting pins that donated to the cause, and that's going to be great. So we've got a lot of work ahead of us as far as the CTR party goes. Podcast Launchpad, that stuff. The other project that I'm working on with helping people be able to podcast stuff. John, I helped you out a little bit this week. Maybe, hopefully, I was helpful. I don't know. But we can talk about that later. Apparently,
I've gotten like 15 hours of sleep this week, so I actually don't even know if I'm dreaming right now.
You asked
like,
for advice, and I just kind of gave you advice. I mean, it's not really a big
I haven't
thing.
Looked at that yet. Let me take a look and see. I'm just kidding. No, it was very helpful. It was. You were right. You were right. You did.
So that's the other project, Podcast Launchpad, over at podcastlaunchpad.com. You can get ebooks and blah 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 whatever over there. So that stuff is going well, and Jules, you're doing a great job of keeping it all kind of managed, because I know I'm not. So well done.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, and so there is a good reason why I'm not playing WoW, but you know what, there's always going to be an appreciation for everything going on in Warcraft. I've been playing the game for 12 years now, something crazy like that.
Sure.
So, it's like it's going to always be there. I still read everything that comes out on the news. I still see what people are getting super excited about. So it's like, okay, I can take a little bit of a break. This is probably the longest break that I've ever taken from actually playing the game, but I think that's okay. I think that's.
I mean, it's only
right.
been
With
a few
everything
months,
else,
so I mean, it's not like a big
know.
deal. It's not.
And I'm not.
Everybody.
When I'm going to quit.
Everybody took a break after Hellfire Citadel. After
some
16...
people didn't. Some people kept going because that's the definition of insanity.
Those people are insane. I will agree on that one. Because after 16 months of Hellfire Citadel, I think I was. I mean, I was still jumping in every once in a while, but I wasn't playing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's the thing, though. The people that did keep playing through Hellfire Citadel made a lot of gold. And with all the WoW token stuff now, I mean, they're subsidizing their other games.
Sure.
It's, I have a friend who's pulling in probably about $250 in Battle.net balance every 2 months or so.
Wow.
Seriously.
So,
that's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's literally a part-time job.
That's awesome.
But he only plays 85 hours a week, though, to make that happen. So we can talk about time value investment. But
Sure.
It's still if you stay consistent with games, especially through those lulls, and that game comes out of that lull, you're usually sitting pretty. Right. WoW did a great job at rewarding those players, I think.
Yes,
it did. Absolutely. Johnny, how about you? What have you been up to, buddy?
Ooh, it's been a week. I'm excited to be with all 6 of you co-hosts on the show this week.
Right. Because you're seeing double. I got it. Or triple.
Yeah. So I'm very excited to announce I'm actually going to be starting a Destiny podcast.
Hey. There we go.
Woo.
That's cool.
Yes.
What is it called and all that kind of good stuff?
So the podcast is called Return to Orbit. We actually have a website set up. So I learned how to make a website this week. Mm-hmm. And you can go to R, the letter, 2, the number, R2OCast.com. R2OCast.com. There's links to everything there. You can also search for Return to Orbit on your podcast feeds. And we already have the feed set up with just a little 3-minute teaser episode there, so that when we record next Tuesday, July 25th at 9 a.m. Pacific time over at twitch.tv/R2OCast, you will have that go straight to your podcast feed.
Cool.
So it's been a blast. It sounds amazing. Coltrane actually did the voiceover for the Sounders.
That's awesome.
And they sound really good.
Wait, who's that guy?
He's the guy.
I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea.
He does the thing.
He does what thing does he do? Something cool?
With his voice.
All right.
It's like really low and sexy.
Okay.
It's like channeling his inner kick tripod, So
Sure.
Well,
sure.
But yeah, anyways, I'm really excited about it. I literally have been working on this like 13 hours a day. I went into After Effects and made my own little background for the live stream with the Traveler. That's kind of a parallax effect, and the flames from the city below are actually burning. And I took that from a still image. I was really proud of it. And so, I've just been having a lot of fun working on that. But if you are into Destiny and you want to hang out, and I don't think we're going to be talking about Destiny 2 a whole lot on the Battlenet news, you should check out Return to Orbit. Just saying.
Maybe. You never know, because, that game is going to be on the Battlenet launcher, and this is the Battlenet
with your
news.
Battlenet.
And so it potentially could, if there's a lot of news for it and all that kind of stuff, or when it comes available and all of that, and we're starting to see the PTR pop up, or the beta, pop up. So that's cool. I dig that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? But this Coltrane fella, I don't know what he's all about.
He is He's got a voice, man. He's got it was actually really cool. I tweeted out and I was just like, looking for voiceover artists are really hard to find to do your VO for podcasts. And at least for me, I like having VO at the front.
Right.
When you have a voice like Pat and you can go tonight.
Right.
Tonight. Right. You don't need a voiceover. But
there's no voice that can compete with that.
And so someone's like, you should get Coltrane. And they tagged Coltrane in the tweet. And I'm like, well, this could go one of two ways, really awkwardly or whatever. But I was like, I don't know. I'm willing to pay someone. And he's just like, yeah, dude, send me what you want. And he had it done in 3 hours. Awesome. They were perfect. And he took some creative liberties in it, so there's some really funny takes in there too. I want to make it like a Patreon perk or something if we ever set one up, because it was really fun.
Yep. And as I always say,
definitely don't clip what just happened on the live stream, because that was the whitest and nerdiest thing that has probably ever happened on Twitch.
That was good.
That was the
good
worst.
Stuff. That was good stuff right there.
The absolute worst.
Make sure to watch the video, guys, if you're only listening to the audio. Hey, by the way, John, you and I are also. I've got a couple of bits of news before we get into the news part of the news. A couple of show things. First of all, TwitchCon. Let's talk about it a little bit. It's coming up end of October, or October 20th through the 22nd in Long Beach. And you and I and Chanman are going to be actually doing a panel, as it turns out. Oh, yeah. Sorry. Applause. Big applause. We're doing a panel. So we're going to be hanging out at TwitchCon and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I need a hotel room, and it's not looking good.
Oh, geez. You haven't tried? Or you have tried?
No, I looked. It's not looking good.
No.
It's not looking good. I may be
we might have to Airbnb it.
I may be commuting from LAX. So there. Yeah. Who knows? The other thing is, Jules, Minnesota meetup is coming up first weekend of August, right?
That's correct. We are going to get together again. We've been doing it every quarter-ish, but this is the big one. This is the one that we do every year in the summer for everybody to come out and they want to like hang out for the weekend. We're going to New Bohemia in Roseville, Minnesota, and there's a nice hotel that's hanging out right there in the parking lot. So if you're coming in from out of town, you got a place to stay. Right. It's like right there. Yep. We love New Bohemia because it's all like German sausages and lots of beer and
sausages. Yes.
Awesome. Yes. And total bar food, lots and lots and lots of beer choices. So it's August 5th, 2 p.m. to 7 p.m. You can check out the Facebook page, facebook.com/Minnesota MN Convert to Raid. So facebook.com/MN Convert to Raid.
Okay, there you go.
Yes.
So please come out to that if you are around the Minnesota area or around the Minneapolis area, I really should say, on August 5th. And that does it for the pre-news stuff. So let's just get into the news. It's time for the news. And I want to put out a big congratulations as we end this race to world first for Tomb of Sargeras. Yeah! Congratulations to Method. Yes. Woo. Method has once again proven their worth to the raid gods by coming in first. And it's pretty cool. There's actually only, I think last time I looked anyway, it looked like there was only two teams that had finished. Is that correct?
I think they were the only ones that have finished so far.
The only ones. Okay.
Yeah. Right. According to Method's website, when I was looking today, there are two teams that are sitting at 8 and 9, at least two.
There are 10 apparently. According
10 now?
According to Raider.io.
Okay.
Yes.
But that Method is the only one who has cleared Kel'Thuzad. Killed Jaden.
Or sorry, 13 actually. So 13 are in second place currently, which is kind of crazy.
Wow.
And a big shout out to a guild that is on our server, Easy. I think they're currently sitting at number 12 in the world. Obviously it's not, we don't have those guys across the finish line quite yet, but I mean, number 12 in the world, and they are on our server, and that is amazing. So congratulations to Easy, and they're first in the U.S. I should also note that. But Area Peak U.S. is the place for raiding, which I'm kind of liking. So I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Here's a cool thing though. You can do, if you're a team like Method, you can do over half the raid in under 20 wipes. So there you go. Easy peasy mode. Yep.
Well, they released.
That's it. That's all it took.
They released how many wipes it actually took. And yeah, I mean, the first half.
So ridiculous.
The first half was 17 wipes or whatever. But then the second half, like the last two bosses was like
1,300.
Over 1,000 wipes for the last two bosses.
Bad. It's so bad.
That is,
those last two bosses. Wow.
Right. And
I can't even imagine what that mental drain is to sit on a boss for 400 tries, 600 tries, and just the same thing.
Well, it's over the course of a week, right? So, I mean, it took them.
This was more than that.
I think it took them. Well, I mean, when they got to the last boss, I think it took them took Method 5 days, I want to say, from when they defeated the 7th boss to Avatar, and then it took them another 3 days to defeat kill Jaden, and in those 3 days they packed in 654 wipes on top of the one win. On top On top of all the nerd screams.
How would it feel, Pat? So you're a Mythic raider, and you just clear Avatar, and you're at about 550 wipes.
Yep.
And you've got one boss left, and then Celestalon comes down from his celestial cloud with dragons and ponies and things, and says, "Well, Pat, you're 40% of the way there."
Yeah. Right.
That's literally what happened. Well, it's so rough.
I remember going through heroic on Siege, right? Siege of Orgrimmar. We were really trying to push as hard as we could. Asparagus Initiative was trying to push as hard as we could on 2 days a week, and we ran into scheduling problems and all these other things where we were just kind of running into problem after problem after problem. And we did 300 wipes on third to the last guy. So, I mean, it was kind of one of those things where I know what it feels like to do 300. And that was over the course of weeks because we were only doing 2 days a week. And so it was kind of like, oh, all right. If I had to do 453 wipes on Avatar and then do 654 wipes on Kill Jaden, seriously, the wall behind me would not exist because my head would have gone through it. I mean, really, that's amazing stuff.
The crazy. Especially when you make progress, and you move forward and you've gotten further than you ever have before, and that thing that happens to every team, or you've gotten down to like a 3% wipe and you're like, oh my gosh, we're so close, and then you can't get back there again.
Right. Well,
because you don't know what you did.
Because you don't know what you did. No, these guys know exactly what they did. And it's kind of funny because I was watching some of the streams that are still going on. I mean, Sloot is still streaming a lot, and so I've been watching his stream. And it's funny because when they were doing Avatar, and thankfully Future, his new guild is beyond that, and they're working on Kill Jaden right now. But when Future was on Avatar, they would pull, and within 10 seconds, he would know whether or not he needed to call for a wipe. 10 seconds. And you say, you know what? That was a bad pull because because it's a DPS check plus an awareness check. I mean, Avatar is a really tough boss, and you just know, like, right away whether or not you can win.
I don't even know when I'm on the toilet within 10 seconds when I need to call for a wipe. So
it's silly. It's silliness. But
really?
Got him. Thanks. You set me up really well there. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I got you.
You're welcome.
That spike,
but I mean, it's an amazing job. And the important thing to note is that these guys are number one. The guys that are number two, how many wipes are they going to have on this stuff? I mean, this is the incredible thing, right?
I know, yeah.
Come on. I mean, the guys that are number 2, number 3, number 5, how many wipes are they going to have on all this different stuff? They're going to have so many more. And to everybody that is in this race, whether you are directly in it or tangentially, congratulations, because this is an incredible job. And it's lasted for more than 2 weeks, which is kind of that doesn't happen a lot, I don't think. I think they kind of aim for having it be a couple of weeks anyway. So
I think this progression has been a lot longer than it has been in the past couple of rounds of having Mythic race to world first. And so I've seen some comments about that online where people are saying, Blizzard, have you been tuning it properly in the past to this point?
Yeah.
So, but huge congratulations to Method. Those guys have been around forever, and they are just continuing to dominate. And And you see them everywhere. You see them all over the place with the arena teams that they're running. They're branching out into other eSports competition.
Yep.
Really proud of those guys.
Yep. They're all over the place. And so congrats once again. And I don't think that there really needs to be much more said than that is insane. It really is. Another thing that's insane, maybe not really, is that Chronicle Volume 3 is coming. It's coming, not right now though.
Are you excited?
I'm excited, but I don't want to get too excited because it's not coming for a while.
Yeah.
Right? So we had volumes 1 and 2. I have both volumes 1 and 2 in the office, and I keep them for reference just in case John tries to screw with me, and I'm like, no, that's not what it says in the book.
Yeah, when I talk about Gul'dan and Jaina's love child.
Right. Right.
It cracks me up, though, that you have the Chronicle volumes, Pat.
Yeah.
Because in the years and years and years of playing World of Warcraft with Pat Crane,
never been a lore guy.
He hates reading quest text. He hates quest text. Like, no.
Never.
It's quest text, Jules. I'm not reading it.
Never been a quest text guy. Never been a lore guy. Never been any of that stuff. And then these books came out, and I'm like, oh, I need these. I need these in my life.
I don't understand why you need them if you don't.
Jules, I don't understand it either. I'm just saying this is a thing that I need. It's kind of...
So, wait, though, the quests have text?
Apparently. I just looked for the arrows and the spots where I need to go to, and then it usually
definitely
says,
don't have an add-on that just removes those completely.
I have 0 out of 6, heads in my bag or whatever I need. So, yeah.
He's the worst. He'll be like, I don't know where I'm supposed to go. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, Jules. Well, if you read the quest, you'd know.
But he would still be there reading the quest text. So...
Right. I'm out in the world. I'm doing things, Jules. Isn't that enough? Come on. But this thing...
I find it funny that you are so excited about the Chronicle. I don't even own them. I am. So, okay, Volume 3 is going to be backstories on Arthas, Illidan, Jaina, and other characters in World of Warcraft. And this is not coming out until next year. Yeah. I mean, it's not coming out until almost April of next year. So next spring, be looking forward to that. I mean, thankfully, we have other things to look forward to, like BlizzCon, the CTR party, and all this other stuff that's coming up pretty quick. And then we'll have to wait for a few months, and then it'll come out. So there. You're so excited.
I totally am. Totally excited for it. I can't wait.
I love it.
I can't wait. But for now, I think we need to move on.
Okay.
To Overwatch.
Now we're cooking with gas.
That's right. Johnny, you do a show about Overwatch.
Yes. Once a week.
And I didn't get last week. I kind of missed this. We were talking about Doomfist, and I'm like going, you know what? You know who would be great at talking about Doomfist, just in general?
Terry Crews.
Somebody. Well, and I was saying how disappointed I was that it wasn't Terry Crews, number one. I mean, really, that's a disappointment. I think everybody wanted that.
Yes.
But how is Doomfist playing? When are we going to see Doomfist? What's going on with all the Doomfist talk?
So Doomfist is live now on live. So you can play him now. You just can't play him in competitive play for another week because we don't need a bunch of Pats running around on Junkrats like Doomfist. So
wait, that was confusing. But
Pat's
I will
running
give
around
it to you.
On Doomfist like Junkrats. There it is.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah, there it is. Fixed
Still confusing. Okay.
Words are hard.
Right.
Yeah, so Doomfist is there. He's it's been an interesting journey for the Fist of Doom as far as how the PTR has treated him. Just like Orisa, I think this is just a general trend in the community. Anyways, when a new hero comes out and people are still getting used to their abilities, They're like, oh, this person's OP. You're telling me he automatically reloads his knuckles and can fly? Like, yeah, kind of. And then, like, with Orisa, it's like, you're telling me she has 200 ammo and has a mini Zarya ult every, 8 seconds or whatever. And then, sure enough, now if you play Orisa, you're probably in plat. So I'm just kidding. Rip. It's a joke. Carl put down the keyboard. And so Doomfist kind of was introduced in the same way. And he was very strong. Now, he has some really interesting mechanics. He's like at close range. He's incredibly dangerous with the amount of damage that he can put out. He essentially has a Genji double jump that's just on a little bit of a timer. So he's got some pretty good mobility. He's got kind of like a Reinhardt charge type of feel to him. So he's got like a lot of really cool abilities. And so we've been seeing people play with them. The general rule is he's good. He could potentially be strong, but like the people saying like Doomfist is way overpowered. They nerfed him in the very beginning, right when he came out, because there were a few abilities that were really strong. But in the end, he's going to be a solid addition. He doesn't have any shields, any ways to protect himself, any ways to heal himself. He doesn't really even have any escape mechanisms. So we'll just kind of have to see how Doomfist plays out. But he's a very fun character to play, and it's really surprising how unique his kit is, especially when we saw Orisa, which was just kind of a recycling of, 4 other abilities that we've already seen. And so, but Doomfist has been playing out very well. Still want my Overwatch anime now, though.
Yep. Everybody wants the anime. I mean, how can you not want the anime after they came out with the short introducing Doomfist? And this week, actually, they came out with another one where the entire team kind of came out and talked about how they built Doomfist, because when they started Overwatch, all they had in that opening cinematic was the glove. That was what the guys were going for. That's what Widowmaker and what's his name were going for at the beginning.
Reaper.
Thank you. They were going for Doomfist glove, and the little kids saved everything. The kids were so amazing, and now we get to finally meet Doomfist. And it's not Terry Crews, and I'm kind of upset about it.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying. Once again.
It's just, well, and I think that there was so much hype. I don't even know how people really kind of got latched onto the whole Terry Crews should be Doomfist thing, but it grew like wildfire. And then there was the whole Terry Crews sighting at Blizzard, and everyone thought, this is it. This is who it is. He's going to do the VO for Doomfist.
He's doing it.
But no one has been able to uncover why Terry Crews was at Blizzard.
Dude, I said this last week, and I'll say it again. Titan 2.0, Terry Crews. It's a Terry Crews focused new game. It's all about Terry. It's the Terry Crews Titan 2.0.
Okay. Why would they do Titan 2.0? You're crazy.
No, they are doing Titan 2.0. I mean, they've stolen all the people from World of Warcraft. They stole Halinka. They stole, everybody. They stole a bunch of bigwigs off of World of Warcraft, and now they're putting them into a secret project. Titan 2.0. Tighten your boots. Tighten your boots, too.
You've got that joke to hang around for another decade. It's cool. It's good.
It is good. It's very good. And
but man, could you imagine? Like, I all I can see with Doomfist now is the combination potential. Like a Zarya Graviton Surge with the big old like fly in the air. I don't even know what the ability is for Doomfist. Fly in the air and land down on that and crush all their heads. Holy crap!
Right.
Like that looks insane.
It is. I do think it's going to be better than even Graviton Pharah or Graviton Reaper.
Yeah.
It's the reason why is that Doomfist, when he goes up, he's invulnerable, right? So he can adjust to wherever the Graviton falls, whatever else, ends up looking there, and can kind of adjust there. With Pharah and Reaper, you can't really do that. You kind of have to simultaneously hit that. Whereas with Doomfist, he flies up, you Graviton, and then everything else follows. So yeah, it's going to be, it has potential to be a great combo. I think the issue again comes down to Doomfist's survivability. If his escape mechanisms at 4 seconds each are low enough that healers can get there, because right now the healers that are really quote unquote in the meta are Zenyatta and Mercy, and
Mercy
to a point Ana or Lucia, which require them all to be really close to Doomfist, which is kind of dangerous because Doomfist kind of plays like Reaper in a lot of ways, at least how we're seeing him be played now. But Reaper has the escape mechanism, so he hits Wraith form, you can heal him while he's in Wraith form, and he's always got that 3 or 4 seconds where he can get healed back up. Doomfist doesn't have that. And so it's going to be really interesting to see if these compositions right now with the current Overwatch meta, if Doomfist is enough to switch that, he's got enough power, or if it's just too, it's just kind of too off meta at this point. Maybe we don't see him get played until another, the next meta switch.
Sure.
Kind of looking forward to the next meta switch. I'm really getting tired of the dive meta right now. I just saying.
Well, there you go.
Saying.
Anything else Overwatch there, Johnny, that we need to be looking out for?
Not from a non-esports perspective.
I know that we have
esports stuff. That's coming later.
Lots of esports stuff, especially when it comes to like logos and such. But we'll come back to that in the esports section. Until then, let's switch over to another wonderful game, and that is Hearthstone.
Well met.
That's right. You also have a show about this stuff, which is weird. You have a show about Overwatch. You have a show about this thing. You have a show about
that might be why I'm here.
Maybe. We've seen Ben Brode a lot. We've seen the Lich King a lot in a bunch of different videos spread around the internet. What the hell is going on? We have the best was the video for the Ice Cream Citadel shop, I guess. With the kids coming into the shop, into the ice cream shop, and Lich King is there, and he's saying all these quirky lines, and yeah, just a lot of fun. I don't know.
Yeah,
we're all getting
absolutely. Ready for it. The Hearthstone marketing team or whoever they have making their like advertisements definitely has a very, very controversial track record as far as creating fun and enticing and good commercials.
Yeah.
If you remember Guac Boy, that's my guac. Yeah, that guy. There was some really sketchy commercials, but the last 2 or 3 from the Hearthstone teams have been amazing. The Hearthstone Mulligans first, and then now we've got the Ice Cream Citadel with the lactose intolerant friendly Lich King.
Yep.
Don't worry, we have sorbet.
Right.
So pretty funny stuff. And yeah, they're at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend. Right. Yang Wu, a lot of other content creators and influencers are going to be there, and you can get a sweet Ice Cream Citadel t-shirt as well.
Aw, that's so cool. Get it? Cool.
Yeah.
It's cool. Cool.
That joke.
No, that was terrible.
I'll take my wiping joke every time over that one.
Oh. Absolutely. I will too. Wait, no. That sounds weird. They say it like that. But actually, they've been hitting this pretty hard. I mean, they put out, I think, 2 or 3 different fun videos for Knights of the Frozen Throne. And then they've also put out a bunch of different interviews and like behind the scenes and stuff like that as far as it goes from Ben Brode and others on the team. So it's been kind of like they've really been hitting it hard as far as like doing a media push for this new expansion. And I don't know, is this more than we've seen before? Do you know, John?
from like an interview, like Blitz, I would say so, but it's also like, I think only once in the past can I think of a time where they, sorry, I lost my train of thought for a second.
That's okay.
So where they've had such like a long time from announcement of expansion to the cards starting to be released. And so because we have 2.5 weeks essentially from those two times, you're seeing a lot more transparent like communication from the development team about what's going on in Hearthstone and what's going on there, and kind of leading up. Ben Brode did an amazing AMA where they were kind of talking about how they plan on releasing cards, if they ever thought that they might release cards like monthly. Like imagine getting a new expansion, but getting, a few new cards every week rather than just getting all 135 right at the beginning of that expansions to keep things fresh and introduce things like a micro version of adventures. But, they talked about how, there's a lack of, the hype is really important and the excitement is really important for Hearthstone. And the other thing they talked about too is if they take too long with the drip feed, by the time that the expansion actually rolls around, you're not that hyped anymore. I mean, I've gone through, I think 5 card reveals now and 5 expansion announcements and 5 card review months of reviewing cards on a Hearthstone podcast. And like, I definitely know by the end of those weeks where you're just like, all right, dude, I'm ready. Just give me the cards. Let me play with them.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely like, it's definitely kind of a new thing. They're trying to find the right balance for sure.
And I think maybe it's just me, but it seems like the game is coming to where it needs to shift a little bit, right? It needs to shift from being the new fun game or whatever to being this long-term game that keeps on kind of changing and shifting and can still be fun. Don't get me wrong. I mean, it can still be a really good time, and I think they've done a great job with the marketing aspect of this new expansion. But it really does seem like they're trying to like shift it from the new game to kind of a bigger picture type of thing, and maybe that's why they're doing this big push, and maybe that's also why they chose ICC as like the main adventure for it, because it is a huge fan service, because it is this big World of Warcraft adventure that can be found now in card form, and so again, I don't know this, or anything, but it seems
you can see the shift though.
Yeah,
you can see the shift in their PR and how they're changing it up and how they're going after a different aspect. There's so much, like, Hearthstone has always been tongue in cheek. Like, they have always been self-referential. They've been silly and funny, but it's never really been about the developers until now. And bringing out Ben Brode and bringing out all of these guys as part of the commercials and part of the whole tongue-in-cheek is like their shift in making people notice. Like,
well, I don't know about that, because it was Ungoro was the kind of the big thing with Ben Brode, right? I mean, he's like,
right, but
when he came out with a rap, I mean, that was just, I think that was kind of a delightful little thing that happened where he was all of a sudden, he was like, oh no, you are going to be in the forefront now, and you're going to sing a song every time there's an expansion.
But you know, that didn't seem like it was planned. That rap thing blew up.
Oh yeah, totally did.
And that people were just like bonkers over it, and they were like, well, we can get a ton of attention if we're continuing down this kind of tongue-in-cheek, self-referential, I can't speak anymore, path. I love it. I don't even play Hearthstone. And it's just like, but I just love seeing all of the things that they're doing to breathe new life into the game. I agree with John 100% though. Like, you release 135 cards in a new expansion and people are just kind of go, I can't even keep track of these anymore.
No, it's hard. But it's difficult.
But you let it out in a slow drip, and then people are like, I don't even know what's going on with these cards anymore. Like, it's the same problem because they forget.
There are too many cards, John. Too many cards.
So much.
There's a lot of there's a lot of new cards, and there's more cards this year that are going to be released than any other year in the past in Hearthstone history, because every expansion now is going to have roughly 130 cards. Expansion 1, we saw 139. Expansion 2, this one, we saw 135. And so...
you're the mammoth. You're the lot of cards.
That's so there's just a lot of cards, and it's great. It's going to keep the game fresher, and it's going to keep decks more interesting and more variety. But
I find difficulty now, like going back to, because I play a lot of the different expansions, and however, there were ones that maybe I didn't play quite as much as I play now, and now I'm finding that, oh, you know what, if I didn't play the Gadget Zan stuff, all of a sudden I'm way behind the curve if I really want to build up all these different decks and have a chance at beating John in a head-to-head match, which, I really don't have much hope for anyway. But if I'm going to have...
You try very valiantly.
Right. If I'm going to have any hope whatsoever, I need to, make sure to play all that stuff. And that just seems like a lot to keep up on. So, I don't know.
It is a lot.
It is a lot. Okay.
It is a lot.
Okay. Good.
You're just not wrong. You're like,
hey, you know what? I'll take that as John said I was right.
Even as somebody who dedicates an hour every morning and an hour every night to staying caught up on all the news that happens throughout, the day, and then hopefully to create, a show about it.
Sure.
It's a lot of stuff.
It is.
It's a lot of cards. It's a lot of new ideas.
Thank you for validating me. I appreciate that about you.
Validated.
All right.
Stamp of validation.
Anything else for Hearthstone that we need to be aware of here, Johnny?
Okay. No.
All right.
No.
Well, then we will continue to Heroes of the Storm.
Night elves are the right elves.
They are. I always appreciate a night elf. I don't know. Jules.
Wow.
I play a night elf.
I know. That went down a path I didn't expect.
Hobo night elf known as Fangnail. All right. Jules, what's happening with Heroes of the Storm? Gizmo is traveling the countryside this week, by the way.
Driving away at the countryside, so I will step in to help out with the Heroes of the Storm news.
She's stepping in it. Yep, that's it.
Totally stepping in it for sure. Well, let's see how far I step in it today. There's a rumor out there. It's not confirmed, but there is a rumor that we have a new hero coming, a new hero announcement coming after, it's coming Wednesday, tomorrow, after HGC China, which would be, like stupid early this morning, I think.
Sure.
Time zones are hard, guys. We had Stukov in the Nexus. He's already there. So now we are looking at the next one.
With his big Zerg hand.
Oh my gosh. Pat has a real problem with Stukov that I found out when I stopped by the office the other day.
What was the problem? I don't remember.
I think you were having a problem staring at him with the launcher and his big Zerg hand and not happy with the big Zerg. I don't know what it was. You had a moment.
I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember all the stuff that was going on.
It's just a moment of Stukov. But
sure.
There are rumors out there, unconfirmed, of course, but the rumors are that it's either going to be Junkrat or Kel'Thuzad.
Oh. Seriously? Junkrat in Heroes? That would be so amazing. I would play Junkrat all the time, John.
I know.
I would so play Junkrat in Heroes of the Storm.
I don't want to hear it.
So John, does any of that move the needle for? I know that you're not like a big Heroes fan, but do the Overwatch heroes coming to Heroes of the Storm move the needle for you at all when it comes to playing Heroes of the Storm?
No, I think as much as I love like the heroes and whatever, honestly, you can reskin everything to look like gray blobs with abilities, and like it would still have the same level of attraction for me. So no offense. Okay. It's like the gameplay to me is really important. I
just want to know where you're at with that stuff. So like Tracer, Zarya, now possibly Junkrat, that doesn't really move the needle for you at all for Heroes of the Storm, at least for you.
Maybe in the opposite way if Junkrat comes to...
just because it's Junkrat.
His girl Zarya is there and he's not interested, so I don't think he's going to move that needle.
And just because you know that I will play Junkrat to no end in the Heroes.
I can't imagine us doing like the ARAMs, the all random, all mids, and having you get Junkrat. Oh my god!
Oh yeah, dude, I'm all over it. I'm all over it. I play arcade mode all the time for Overwatch, and of course Junkrat main on that, just cause it annoys John, and so yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Right.
I think Junkrat would be an amazing HOTS character. It would be a very cool piece of gameplay. I don't know if they would just do. I don't know what they would do for the second ultimate possibility. I mean, you've got the Riptire. Riptire would be an amazing ult, but I can't imagine what they would do for the second one. And maybe it's maybe it's like something to do with the landmine that he drops.
Sure.
Of some sort.
Sure.
Blows everybody up in the air and throws them away. I don't know, but it looks like he would be a very, very cool HOTS character. Everybody's really interested in Kel'Thuzad, but we just got Malthael. Got Malthael.
I don't know.
I don't know if we need another of that type of character.
I think we just need more Junkrat.
You won't get rid of me that easily.
Nope. So, but now, for now, we're going to say adieu to Junkrat, and we're going to go over to, there's some news in StarCraft 2, so let's go there.
I can dig that.
Yeah. There's a new thing that's coming out, Jules, and I know you know this because you wrote the notes. So
I did.
So, but this is actually kind of cool. So tell us about what's happening for StarCraft 2.
Okay, disclaimer, I don't play StarCraft 2, so I am going by the notes. But they're coming out. There was a big push this weekend talking about the War Chest, the big like promotional effort for StarCraft 2, and it goes on sale July 19th. This one is like a progressive process. It's not just July 19th and done. It's going all the way through BlizzCon. 70 new items spread across 3 phases of this promotion, including sprays, emoticons, exclusive portraits, and StarCraft 2's first army-wide skins. The other part that's pretty cool is like if you play StarCraft 2 and you play other Blizzard games, your first War Chest purchase gives you bonuses to the other ones, like Diablo 3 Teldarum Pet. You get a Heroes Loot Chest and a Hearthstone card pack as part of your first one. It's pretty cool.
So essentially what they're doing is they're saying, you know what, we want in on this whole thing where we're going to do all these extras like the sprays and emoticons and blah, blah, blah. I mean, kind of like what Overwatch did, what Overwatch opened up for the other games. They're saying, hey, we're all in. And if you want to do this, that's totally cool. You can purchase your path for any or all of the 3 races out there so that you can play Tauren, and if you're playing Tauren and you want to, get free stuff for your Tauren stuff. If you're only playing Tauren, you only have a small amount to buy, but if you're playing all 3, there's a package price, I guess, for that stuff. So
it's also it's also actually doing some good towards StarCraft 2 eSports as well. So 25% of all War Chest purchases go directly to eSports. The first $200,000 will be added to the $500,000 BlizzCon 2017 prize pool. And any surplus contributes to StarCraft 2 event production. If you go to the War Chest site, it's warchest.starcraft2.com. On July 19th, they're going to start a ticker for that, so you get to see what the progression is towards building up that prize pool for up to 200K. It's pretty cool.
And so this starts tomorrow. And, that's the thing that I don't get about it, though, is that they say 25% of purchases go to eSports. Is it just that StarCraft 2 has been around forever and isn't doing so well? Or it seems like, we have 25% going to eSports. Is that because the eSport is not doing well?
No,
do you know what I mean?
You got to look ahead of the notes, though, because that whole model is being replicated in something else we're about to talk about tonight, too.
Oh!
It is. Oh. And I was just like, I mean, honestly, this was the first time I've heard of this, and maybe I am like completely out of the loop. But I thought the same thing because StarCraft 2 has been around forever. Yeah. But I'll just say Overwatch League got the same thing going on.
Oh! Guess who was reading ahead and was trying to tease what was coming ahead in the show?
Guess who caught on to your lead there?
So why don't we go into eSports?
Blizzard games? That's so old school. Oh.
And we might as well just go right into Overwatch League and talk about this stuff. Johnny, what's going on with Overwatch League, with the revenue stuff, with all that crazy stuff?
I need like a celebrate good times. Come on.
Rubbish.
That's all I got. That's all I got right now. I don't have
exactly the opposite of what I wanted to hear.
Let's see. I have this one. That's all I have queued up right now.
Anyways,
sorry.
Yeah. So, big news in Overwatch League land. A couple of big things. First, we have the first 7 teams from Overwatch League. So, yay! And
I'll give you that. That's totally cool.
Yes. And while not completely 100% confirmed by a first-party source, it's basically been confirmed that these slots went for a total tune of $20 million. Not directly due. The general consensus is it sounds like it's a $5 million up front and then $20 million over time type of thing. But the big thing I want to give some like perspective to is in the LCS, a team spot went for like 1.5 million or something like that, which is League of Legends, the LCS, the biggest esport in the world by a large margin. And here we are with Overwatch League getting these slots going for, 5 million upfront and 20 million over time, or 15 million over time. And it's just kind of insane. And these buyers they're not big fish. They're not big fish. They're whales, Pat. They're absolute whales.
They are.
First you've got Robert Kraft, owner of the Patriots,
which people hate. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
And
right.
then you've got, oh my gosh, I need his name. I can't remember
people
his name.
People love or hate, I should say.
Right. Then you have Jeff Wilpon, who's the co-founder and CEO of Sterling VCC and the CEO of the New York Mets.
Which people then are like, who are the Mets again?
Good luck winning ever.
Right. I love the Mets only because they never win. So great.
So then in San Francisco, it's NRG, right? Yeah. San Francisco is NRG Esports. If you're a Shaq fan, he's one of the owners of NRG Esports. And then in LA, you've got Immortals. In Miami/Orlando, you have Misfits.
Yep.
Who are owned by the Miami Heat right now. So they were purchased by the Miami Heat, I would have to say like 6-7 months ago.
Right.
And so they're owned there. And then you've got, this is where it gets a little bit not sketchy. Sketchy is the wrong word, but I would need a legal expert to talk to me about this. The owner of the Shanghai team is NetEase. And the reason why that is really interesting is NetEase is actually Blizzard's partner for distribution and maintenance of its games in China. So it's a little bit weird. And so it's hard to not say that there's like an inherent bias. Like if there was ever a competitive disagreement between, the Shanghai team and the Immortals team, like, how could Blizzard be unbiased and
Shanghai
not favor
wins, obviously.
China,
I mean,
their China partner.
Come on.
So I think we're going to have to wait and see how that plays out more. And also, I'm not an expert in the relationship between NetEase and Blizzard by any means, but I have done my best to try to be as informed on it as possible. And at the very least, it seems like a gray area right now, which is kind of a surprising thing. And then last but not least is Kabam, a mobile games juggernaut, at least at the time in Seoul, South Korea. And they actually sold off a big part of their company like a year, 2 years back, and then bought into Overwatch League. And so that was kind of a surprising one. There was a lot. It's kind of surprising because you expect that there would be a lot of teams interested in a spot in Overwatch League in South Korea. So it's kind of surprising to see, at least in this first bout. These aren't going to be all the teams, but at least in the first bout, the first South Korean team is from a company that it's not like they're in sports or they're in eSports or, they're partners with Blizzard or they already have teams existing. It's kind of like they're kind of new young pups when it comes to this. And so we'll have to kind of see how that turns out. But that is that's the big news. So we have the first 7 teams,
do you know how many they're planning on having? Do we know what the grand plan is for number of teams?
Nate Nanzer, the commissioner for Overwatch League, has been very, very intentional, in my opinion, about not saying a specific number. The Blizzard terminology of like, the right number is the right number kind of thing. Like it's
we'll get as many damn teams as we can because we really want this to work. And so we'll see what the interest is and not say anything.
And so the idea behind Overwatch League, to like get an idea of how many teams it would take, the idea behind Overwatch League is to long-term have home and away games, just like you do for NFL or MLB or any of your other favorite national sports. And but do that on an international scale. If you're doing that with 7 teams that are as spread out as they are, obviously the ones here in the US, the 7 in the US, like that's relatively standard. But you'll notice Europe is totally missing. Central Asia is totally missing. And even like Japan, like you'd expect a team to come out of Hong Kong, and
I would expect a Brazil
Thailand
team too. I mean, come on. Let's go. Let's do
South
something.
America, like
gotta have something.
And so like this is the initial bet. And so anyone who's like trying to say like there's a specific number, there's not. But I would say like for a team to be like that to be healthy, or a league like that to be healthy, I think that they would probably need to shoot for 14 or 16. In long term, look at like 20 plus. Yeah.
I would say that 30. The max would be for me anyway. Would be like 32. That would be the max.
NFL style, yeah.
Right. But I mean, that seems about right to me. But whatever. I don't know. And Jules, to get back to our previous conversation, there's a way that players can actually support the esports movement. Is that correct?
That is correct. So players will be able to support the collective teams via a special in-game items. 50% of the revenue will go into the shared revenue pool for Overwatch League. So go buy your loot chests and loot crates and all of that kind of thing, and you're helping out Overwatch League in the process. It's pretty darn cool. I wonder though if there'll be like if it's just the overall, or like you're buying a loot chest, that money's going towards it, or they're gonna do some kind of event like Overwatch League themed loot chests.
Probably. I would think that, I mean, because they say special in-game items, I would say that it would be something more elaborate than just a loot chest. Know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Like put Tracer with a Overwatch League jersey on, like could be able to wear that as part of it.
Right.
That'd be really cool. But so these two pieces of news came at the same time, which was an interesting thing. And I will admit, I've never really heard
it's kind of weird.
It's player supported esports,
but
like, or like, consumer supported esports.
Right. Yeah. It's not player supported esports. It's consumer supported. And that is the kind of thing that's kind of mind blowing to me right now. Is kind of like, okay, so we're going to support our esports with our consumer buys, which, I mean, it makes sense, but to actually lay it out for people and say, oh no, this is how we're supporting our esports. That to me seems strange. It seems like strange messaging. I don't know why. It just seems a little foreign to me.
Yeah. Well, otherwise it's coming from sponsorships, sponsorship money and all the things that you're going to wind up seeing on the stream when they talk about this energy drink or that keyboard or all that kind of thing.
Right. Well, when you're coming from when you're coming from the Corsair Arena in LA, obviously, you have all that sponsor money. You're good.
Yeah. But it's, I don't know. I like the idea. I like the idea that the people who play the game are the people who watch esports. They are the people who are the fans. So their play of the game is supporting their favorite teams, maybe some more than others, but
sure.
I mean, I can't really say I don't want my money to go towards the Boston team, but
and we have a comment from this chat room that made me laugh. It says, "I hope they're not streaming Overwatch League on Facebook." I don't think so. I think they made a deal with Twitch, so I think we're going to see
contenders.
I think we're going to see it on Twitch, most likely. Because
honestly, I think that they'll put it on quite a few different platforms, but I think Twitch and MLG TV are going to be the big ones. Right. But if you watched the Overwatch World Cup in 2016, did you guys ever watch that?
I watched pieces
on their web portal.
Yeah, I watched pieces of it.
I watched pieces.
Their web portal was amazing. In the sense that it was showing live stats, links to really cool things, player profiles, and that's just something that Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, none of those are really able to capitalize on. And so while I think having the primary feed on Twitch makes a lot of sense just from the number of people you're going to reach standpoint. Mm-hmm. I think MLG TV is kind of like the what do they call the sports one? Like you have
ESPN,
whatever,
the Ocho?
At bat for MLB.TV. MLB, yeah, right.
ESPN,
NHL Center Ice. It'll be like that version of it.
Oh, it'd be like the NFL package or whatever. You get the eSports package for whatever. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be awesome. So, yeah.
Yeah. So it's
hey, cool. and John, just to know that if you really want to know whether or not Overwatch League has made an impact in the world of sports, not just esports, you look no further than our next little piece of news that deals with the Overwatch logo. Is that correct?
Yeah. Oh man, this bugs me.
So just to preface this a little bit, and then I'll have you comment on it. But the Major League Baseball said, "Hey, Overwatch League, I'm calling you on this. Your logo looks awfully familiar to me, and that's because you're using similar logo ideas in your logo that are like ours. So we're gonna sue over that." Which seems, I mean, kind of trite. But what are your thoughts here, John?
So it's tough. It's absolutely tough. Like from one perspective, you just have to protect your IPs, period. It's what businesses do. It's the same thing that Blizzard did with legacy servers. It's the same thing that Apple did with trying to trademark the lowercase I, in the sense that a lot of times from a legal perspective, you have to make that step to protect it.
Right.
I am not a lawyer. Don't. I know a few of you probably listen are like lawyers and like, actually, this is just as a broad rule, okay? Just as a broad rule.
Right.
But at the same time, like I was making the joke, I'm like, the only difference between the MLB and NBA logo is that the NBA logo, that the silly jerk decided to take the picture in portrait mode rather than landscape.
Thank you. Thank you.
Like,
they're the same thing.
Yeah.
Like, in my opinion, I mean, even looking at MLG.TV, right? Go to the MLG website and look how similar the MLG logo is to any of these. And yes, Major League Baseball created, basically, you could argue the modern sports logo, right? Everybody, whenever you're making a new sport or something like that, tell me it doesn't look or emulate in some way the foundation that the Major League Baseball logo put forth. And like that makes sense.
It's a template now.
And I think everybody
it's kind of like
I think everybody that saw the Overwatch logo when they first saw it went, "Oh my God, this looks like a total pro logo. This is a pro league logo." That's what they said. It
sports league. It looks sports league. And yeah, it does look like the MLB logo, but the MLB logo looks just like the NBA logo. And it's just, that's you associate that kind of look as sports.
Sure.
It's a sports league. So I can't see where they've got a leg to stand on to say that there's trademark infringement here.
Well, but they have to. It's kind of like they have to stand up for their IP. So they have
personally, I think I was going to say, I think the Overwatch League logo looks better. Let's just put it out there. It looks way better than the MLB logo. The MLB logo could learn a few things by taking from the Overwatch League logo.
Sure.
So,
sure. All right. There is that. What else is going on with Overwatch stuff in esports here, John?
Oh my God. There's
so much.
So yeah, Overwatch World Cup, the Shanghai, the Shanghai portion of it just finished. China looked so good.
Oh my gosh, they were amazing.
Funny. China looks so good. Rogue looks strong. But China were playing on their home turf in their home time zone. It's like you've got that home field advantage. They looked so good. France looked amazing as well, which France, if you don't know, France's roster is Team Rogue, who, I would expect we see at least an 8th Overwatch League team with Rogue here eventually, because they're one of the longest standing and biggest houses in Overwatch esports. But we've got Sydney, Australia next weekend. And our good friend of the show and regular contributor to the Payload, Jamerson, is actually there as an analyst, so he's going to be there on the desk.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah,
that's
really
awesome.
excited to support him. He looks, the whole like the Overwatch World Cup. To me personally, I look at as Overwatch League trial run, and from just the level of production to the talent that they're bringing in there, it's a very much that vibe. It's all, on LAN with their own tournament servers and all this stuff. So it's like, this is, if you want to see and know what to expect from Overwatch League, watch the evolution of Overwatch World Cup this year. And it's looked awesome. So definitely tune in to that. I don't know the exact times and everything for everything off the top of my head, but you can find stuff at worldcup.playoverwatch.com.
Very, very cool. All right. And then we also have some HGC stuff, and Jules knows HGC, don't you?
I do. HGC is heating up right now because we're getting real close to Western Clash qualifiers, and things are messed up in the standings right now.
Right.
We have some of the region's top teams that have been like in the top since HGC started may not make it to the Western Clash after this weekend. So we're looking at Team Dignitas, L5, and Tempo Storm not making it to a LAN event, which is huge. In NA alone right now, it's just like, I don't even know what's going on in NA. I don't even know who to root for in NA because it's messed up.
Right.
At the top, Team Freedom sitting there. And after they finished towards the bottom as part of part 1, it was insane. And then there's No Tomorrow, who's sitting there, who have fought their way out of the Crucible, and they are now sitting in the top 3 above Tempo Storm. Tempo Storm has dominated everything. In the league format, they get to the LAN and they just kind of, but, and then EU, Fnatic's still at the top after the midseason brawl. That's not unexpected. They're kind of making a run, but Team Dignitas has just fallen apart. I don't know what's happened to them.
They do that occasionally, though, don't they? I mean, it seems like Dignitas kind of falls apart every once in a while, like a couple times a year. They just they
do
disintegrate, and then they build back up, and then they disintegrate again.
They've had a very stable roster, I have to say. Their roster is very stable. But they've only changed out one member since HGC had started, but there's something that happens to them when they get into a situation. Like, they lost the midseason brawl to Fnatic. It was down to the wire. They lost that game, and it just kind of takes everything out of them. Mm-hmm. And then they change up everything in terms of who's the shot caller and who's doing all of the drafting, and then things just don't look good. And so I have to say, watching, I'm a major focus on NA. I watch EU, but my focus is on NA, and NA just looks like they just don't know what they're doing right now. Everybody who was a dominant force is no longer a dominant force, and it's just it's exciting and frustrating to be a fan of HGC right now, because you can't rely on any specific team to say, oh my gosh, that's my team, they're amazing.
Right.
It's hard. It's been hard, but doesn't mean I'm not going to be watching this weekend, because there's a lot of stuff going on.
It's a lot of weird going on.
Yeah.
So might as well check it out. Check out all the weird going on at HGC. So
absolutely. Yeah. Friday and Saturday this week, no Sunday.
Any other esports stuff? Then I will play this music. There we go. And we'll go around the room and we'll chat with the gang here and talk about what's coming up with you guys. Johnny, you've got a couple of different shows that you do. And now a new one that you're going to start doing. Why don't you tell the folks about how they can find those and find you?
It's so sorry. Someone asked which teams were playing in the World Cup in chat, and I was trying to give them an answer.
Okay.
So you can find Well Met at wellmet.bluespro.com for Hearthstone, the Payload at payload.bluespro.com for Overwatch, and you can find Return to Orbit at r2ocast.com. That's R, the number 2, the letter O, cast.com. Check out there. All the links to everything are there. The Twitch, the podcast feed. You can preload the podcast feed now, so you can check it out. And as soon as that first episode goes live, it's just boom, loaded right up to your phone,
right on,
tablet, computer, wherever you listen.
Yeah.
So
that's very important.
And I'm everywhere at Kick Tripod.
Yeah, you are, as normal. Jules, you have the Tauren Think Tank and other stuff going on. What's going on with you?
Yes, Tauren Think Tank records Thursdays. You can check me and Mark Honan out for that show. It's the audio advice column for Blizzard gamers. Twitch.tv/Tauren Think Tank. And I also do another show called Slaying Demons with Jocelyn Moffat from The Angry Chicken and our friend Nevermore. And that one you can find on Twitch.tv/JossPlays.
But she's on vacation this week, so there's no show this week.
Which is why I'm here.
She's traveling the countryside or something.
Traveling, no, she's like
traveling Canada somewhere. Who knows what's going on with her?
No.
Something like that. And for me, if you want to check out Podcast Launchpad, please do. It's all about helping people learn how to podcast. Podcastlaunchpad.com. There's a show, there's a blog, there's, I don't know. There's a bunch of stuff. There's a free book, a free guide to podcasting. Just go over there and find it. And everywhere else, I'm at Pat Crane. And of course, Crane is with a K as usual. And then I will play this song. I didn't even have to bail out. Just ended.
You were like there.
I saw when the music was ending and I timed it well. All right.
Hit the post.
Right. And if you guys would like to talk to us for any reason, please do so. We are here to talk to you guys. Email us, convertraid@gmail.com. You can call and leave comments and questions on our raid line, 612-787-RAID. That's 612-787-7243. You can join the Bazuba Guaba Nation by heading over to convertraid.com, where we have show downloads, we have Discord infos, we have videos, audios, guild stuffs, and more. It's all over at convertraid.com. So make sure to join in the Discord stuff too, because there's lots of stuff going on over there all the time. We are also on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, iHeartRadio, other places around the internet. If you look up internet, you will find Convert Trade. I think that's the way it goes. Not sure. Convert to Raid is produced and distributed by Signals Media. Make sure to check out all of our friends at the Signals Media All-Star Network, signalsmedia.com. And that's going to be it for the show. Jules, thank you. John, thank you. Twitch chat, thank you guys. And thank you no matter where you're listening to us. We really do appreciate it. And we will see you next time. Until then, bye-bye, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.